Hello everybody and welcome back to a brand new video on my channel. This week we have more league racing action, this time for round 5 of the SFR Racing League. I'm in their GP2 league. They have 4 divisions. They go GP1, GP2, GP3 and GP4. I'm in the GP2 league. Now last time out in the SFR league around China I finished P4. I had been practicing quite a lot for Zandvoort because this was a track before which I wasn't overly strong at. You know, Zandvoort is one of these tracks that you cannot make a mistake at because there is no forgiveness around this circuit. You make a mistake, you're in the gravel, you're in the grass, you're in the barrier. But it's a very technical circuit, so I spent a lot of time practicing for it and hoping to get a good lap in. You will get to hear me talking in the background, mainly because, again, I thought Josh was going to be back in time to be my race engineer, so I had to have my mic on just in case he was, and he wasn't. Hence why I have my mic on. So the first time that goes in is a 188 from Mackett, who is, I would say, undoubtedly the fastest driver that we have in our league. Yeah, he's rapid compared to everybody else. I don't think anybody else should be able to touch him really. But in time trial, the best time I set was a 185. Obviously conditions are very slightly different now, and there's a lot more pressure on this than there was in time trial, so I doubt I'll be setting a 185, but if I can get, you know, into the 188s, 187s, maybe even a 186, I'll be very happy in my quality time. So we're pushing here on my effective first flying lap, because the first lap I had was a series of 113.8. I made one mistake and thought I'd save the tyres for another run. So here we come to the end of the lap. It's not been the best lap. I didn't really push the car too much, but I wanted to get a lap in just in case I had any issues or anything. So the lap we're going to post is a 192, so not brilliant. Obviously a lot more time to be found in that lap time. So we skipped to my 4th attempt. My laps before, again, they weren't brilliant, but on my 4th attempt here, we get a much better exit out of turn 1 early on the power, down to gear 2, slight lock up there, he needs to get the car turned in nice and quick. And then down onto the throttle, now a 10th up, well 10th and a half up. On our best, now through a section, go down 1 gear, hold the throttle, back on the throttle, nice and early, getting quite a bit of time through there. Down 1 gear, ride the curve a little bit here, don't get too wide on the exit. I got a little bit sloppy there, so I probably lost myself about a 10th or so. I was 3 tenths up, now I need 2 tenths up. He's trying to gain a bit more time again. Good exit out of that corner, nice and smooth out of that corner. Currently looking at 3 tenths up, late on the brace there. Purple sector 2, go the fastest of anyone in sector 2, which is quite impressive. This means my sector 1 and 3 are a little bit slower than everybody else's. We come through to the effective final corner, only down 1 gear, early on the power. And we're currently 3 tenths up. What time can we set in the end? Open the DRS, nice and early. And we set a 188. So that was my time in quality. I couldn't beat it. I did go out for one more run, but I couldn't beat it. Anyway, into the race. This is the strategy I'm going for. I'm going to go for the soft to hard strategy. Around this track, one thing in 50% races is 2-stop versus 1-stop is always a debate. I felt this track, it's very difficult to overtake around this circuit. So going for the 2-stop, meaning I'd have to overtake cars, would be a stupid idea. So I decided in the end to go for the 1-stop strategy to reduce me getting held up in traffic and see what I could do. So I'm going to be aiming for... Where am I starting? I believe I'm starting P5. So I'm starting P5. My aim is really a top 3 finish. Let's see what happens. We've got 5 red lights. And away we go. Again, too much wheel spin on the start. I need to really improve my starts here. Down to P6 already. Into turn 1. Mackett has had an awful start from P1. Mackett's down to P3. I'm in P6. Got people coming past me now. Trying to hold my inside line. I'm on the grass. I'm losing another position now. As Lord Alam gets past me around the outside. Not the best start from us. It's something I need to work on. I've been focusing so much on being better at tracks and my racing lines. I just haven't focused on race starts. You know, it affected me last week as Lord Alam goes a little bit wide. I lift off there. Don't want to get caught behind him or anything. Get a little bit careful. There's one thing I've noticed in league racing is everyone's much cleaner than ranked races for sure, but people do make mistakes. So especially on the opening laps, it's be careful, don't try and get held up by someone, and don't get yourself into trouble and crash. So I was being very cautious on this first lap, make sure I don't make too many mistakes. Obviously I'm already down to P7, and again just being very cautious on this opening lap. I don't need to be this cautious. But this race, the forecast for this race was completely dry. Josh also did a race. He was in the GP3 league. Main reason why he's in the GP3 league is because he's at the top end of it. And he can't race on the GP2 night. So unfortunately we can't be in the same league, which sucks. But Josh is in GP3. So when Josh puts up his video for his GP3 race, please do go check it out. And as I was saying, the difference between mine and his races were, his race was completely wet. It was intermediate the whole race. Whereas this race here was completely dry. And I was very happy about that. You know, if you know me as an F1 sim driver, I'm not the best when it comes to wet weather racing. It's not something I'm a fan of. Yeah, it's just very difficult in my opinion. And yeah, it's something I need to practice and get quicker at. But for the time being, we're trying to chase down Lord Alam here. Try and get as close as we can, to be honest. And we go up through the gears now. Down to gear 2, ride the curve a little bit there, turn the car in nice and quickly, and Lord Alam makes a slight mistake, but actually gets quite a good drive off that corner even with that mistake. Proves that I should be able to push a little bit harder now. I'm trying to sort of get the balance between using my ERS up enough to keep up with him, but not using it too much, because I don't want to use it loads and then have none left for the rest of the Grand Prix. We can see Surge behind us is 9 tenths behind. We're putting a little bit of gap to the guys behind. So as Jeff just said, car dropping back by about 3 tenths behind us. Again, slight lock up on the inside, trying to get a nice rotation in these corners. And we make a mistake, there it is. Too happy on the throttle as we're now down from P7 into P10 from one slight mistake. That's what I mean by this track has no forgiveness. I had a good exit out of the corner, but just put my foot down too early. And we're now down to P10, so I now have to salvage this, as I was running in P6. Already had a bad start. Starting in 5th in this Grand Prix. In lap 3 I'm down to P10. Through no fault other than my own. I got a sloppy start. Made one mistake and that down to P10. So, you know, in regards to my general pace, I should be up there. I should really be up there with the top guys. I should be fighting for these podiums. It's something I will learn the more league races that I do. I need to just learn to be a little bit more patient with what I'm doing. So we try and chase down Rye in the Mercedes and Calvin. Again, just try not to use too much of my ERS. I know I'm behind and need to make up ground, but I don't want to use up all of my battery and have nothing left for the rest of the race, as I am doing a one stop. So yeah, it's something I have to bear in mind, is with doing a one stop, you know, I have to save some energy for later on in the race. For people who want a 2-stop will be much faster than me. So I really need to save the energy to defend against them. I don't know what strategy all these guys are doing. The guys behind me are on mediums, so I'm guessing they're going to go medium hard. I doubt they could go medium soft. I don't think medium soft would work. You'd have to do a lot of laps on those mediums. They'd have to be looking at doing 25 laps or so on that medium tyre, which I don't think is really possible. We try and chase down Rye here, 8 tenths behind. The yellow flag behind us in sector 2. I'm not sure what's going on. One thing that happened in this race, or one thing that effectively didn't happen in this race, there was no yellow flags. We now skip to lap 12, as I've actually made my pit stop. So what happened on lap 11, I didn't get past these guys. I was behind them. My soft tyres had basically gone off, so I decided to pit a lap earlier on lap 11. I'm meant to pit lap 12, and I thought I'm just going to use up my ERS and rich mix here to just gain as much as I can on these guys. I feel like if I get a good undercut, get a good few laps, really push it, I can gain some of these positions back that I lost. So let's just see if we can try and gain these positions back. Nice early on the power. Make everything nice and clean, because these guys probably won't be pitting until lap 13, lap 14. So let's just see what we can do. We do have Lord Alam only 3 seconds ahead, so we were right behind him at the start of the race. I've really got to chase him down now and try and get in front of him. A little bit sloppy at that final corner. Vapor Cobalt is 7.1 seconds in front. I believe he's in provisional first place. I believe. I may be wrong there. as we skip to lap 17 now. We're right behind Lord Alam. We've really caught up to him. Caught 3 seconds up in these laps. And we now get past Lord Alam. And good overtake there down the inside. Didn't make it too difficult for me, actually. He didn't really defend much. But I used up a lot of my ERS, so I have to watch out he doesn't try and pounce back on me. Cars ahead of me, I have Rye and Chris both in the mediums. So they've gone soft mediums. I'm guessing they're going to go soft, medium, soft. I'm guessing they're going for the 2-stop strategy because the mediums are not going to last to the end. As we go to lap 27 now. As you can see, I'm in provisional P3. So those guys ahead of me, they did pit. They did do the 2-stop strategy. Vapor Kobo on X Game. I think X Game is actually going to the end. I thought he was going to have to pit at some point. But he actually went soft medium. You know, which obviously gave him a very quick car at the start of his medium strategy. Much quicker than us on the hards. But maybe in the next couple of laps his tyres will go off. That or he's really good at preserving his tyres. One of the two. But we've got Lord Alam behind us at 7/10. And we have Surge who's on the medium. So we have to watch out for him. And then the other Renault as well. A couple of places behind. He's also on fresh soft tyres. So I have to be careful of the guys behind us on the 2-stop strategy who are on fresh soft. So I have to be careful they don't overtake us towards the end of this race here. Get the car rotated in nice and early. We've only got 9 laps left for this Grand Prix. We've got to really try and keep Lord Alam behind him. This could be our first podium in league racing. Only 3. This is my 3rd league race. So hopefully I can maintain this podium spot. I'm just constantly keeping that gap to about a second behind. I've just got to keep that gap the same. We set a new personal best of a 1:12.2. So it is quite slow. It's about 1.5 seconds a lap slower than those guys on the softs. But as I said at the start of the Grand Prix, it's very, very difficult to overtake around this circuit. I can see Surge on fresh mediums being stuck behind Lord Alam now for about 10 laps. So that shows we've now got Lord Alam actually right behind us now. I wonder if he's going to go for a move here, possibly into turn 1. I'm going to guard the inside. And I believe he's going for the move. He is going for the move. I try and force him out as much as possible. Is he going to make something? I force him out as much as I can, but he actually gets past us. Great move from Alam. I wasn't defensive enough into turn 1. I gave him way too much space. Now we've lost all grip. 4/10 behind. Only 2 laps left. I've really got to push now to try and get back at him. We've lost our podium finish. He's been behind us for lap on lap. And basically what happened, I made a mistake. I'll show you where I made the mistake. It was on lap 32, I believe. I built the gap up to Lord Alam, but to 1.5 again. It was this next corner. I hit that inside curb. I had to lift off massively, to not spin the car. And I lost about half a second. And he got within DRS range, and for the next 2 laps, he got closer to me and he made the move. So, again, it's just my mistake. It's something I just need to focus on, making less of these mistakes. And Lord Alam really hasn't made a mistake yet. As you can see, at this point in the race, Josh actually joins the party. Hence why the in-game sound has gone down quite a bit. So yeah, Josh joins the party on the last lap, and I'm down to P4. Really wasn't happy at this point. Also, one thing to notice, I am using a new wheel this weekend. The wheel I had before, as I've said in previous videos, was Josh's. I ended up getting my pedal set for my T150, which I've had for years. But I didn't have my pedal set because I sold it. So I am using my old T150, which I actually like, so there's no excuses there. But yeah, just the mistake. I'm only 3/10 behind Lord Alam. If there was 2 more laps left, I could get him into the DRS zone. Only 2/10 behind. I'm really pushing this car now. Yeah, but the issue is I'm in lean mix. I haven't got a lot of fuel. I've got no fuel left. Getting on the inside here, shifting up to gear 4 nice and early, opening the DRS, put it into rich mix, use up all of my ERS here, as he got such a better exit. He's got like 2/10 on that exit just there. I'm pushing as hard as I can, get the car turned in. And yeah, just another podium has slipped our ways. It's 3 league races in a row where a podium could have been a possibility, but we've made the mistake. And in the end, as you can tell, I was not very happy.
Where'd you get, P4? P4. I was in P3 for like until lap 34, and this guy got me into turn 1. He did me around the outside of turn 1.
Oh.
And I tried as hard as I can to force him off the track.
And he was just already gone.
Without, I didn't want to get a penalty.
Well, yeah.
And
so yeah, as you can tell, I'm not very happy. Discussing with Josh here what happened.
Was
I think what really messed me up was the start of my race.
Again, I need to get good at the start.
The start of my race, as I just mentioned there to Josh, is the fact that I got so much wheel spin in the start. I started P5 and I went down to P10. And I went down to P10.
Yeah, but I did a 185 in time trial, and before, like 10 minutes before.
Yeah, I wasn't very happy with my performance here, guys, at all. But it is what it is. You know, looking at what I did, you know, starting P4 or starting P5, going down to P10 on lap 3. Yeah, just something I need to personally work on is my starts.
I don't understand why. It's my third league race now. And then yeah, just comeback drive. I did well.
But yeah, X Gamer ends up winning the race with Cobalt in second and Lord Alam in third place. You know, that should have been me on that podium, unfortunately, but it wasn't to be. I pushed as hard as I could, but it wasn't good enough in the end. So no podium for me this weekend. We're gonna push as hard as I can. I've got WWRL coming up on Friday. So hopefully looking for a good race there. I believe I have the Chinese Grand Prix in that league. That league runs a little bit different to this one. Where, you know, they don't do leagues. They do the league. They select random tracks instead of what we do in this league. So yeah, I mean, good race in the end. It's something I need to work on the starts for next race. But yeah, hope you guys have enjoyed. Thank you very much for watching. If you've enjoyed this league racing footage, please subscribe and like the video. And until next time, bye for now, and I'll see you in the next video.